All right, let me ask you something right off the bat. Who are you? Now, you might think that answer is set in stone, right? But what if it's not? What if your identity is actually more like a setting you can change? A switch you can just flip. Today, we're going to dive into how you can literally rewire your self-concept and change your entire world because of it.
So to really get what I'm talking about, let's just do a quick thought experiment. Picture yourself doing what you do every day, your work, your passion, whatever it is. And ask yourself this: are you, say, a piano instructor?
Or are you a Navy SEAL? And look, obviously I don't mean this literally, but the mindset, that's what we're talking about here. See, a piano instructor, that's just a job description. A Navy SEAL, though, that's a total identity. One tells people what you do. The other one, it determines everything you do. And that's the kind of power we're tapping into. So how does this actually work? Well, to really wrap our heads around it, we need a mental model. Let's call it the identity circuit. I want you to think of it as a way to see your identity not as some fixed personality trait, but as a dynamic system that, believe it or not, you can actually learn to control. So what exactly is it? Okay, picture this. Your whole self-concept, it's basically an electrical circuit. And the power source for that circuit, those are your core beliefs. Those beliefs are what program a very specific identity. And that identity then powers everything you do, your actions. It's a direct, powerful flow of energy, straight from a thought into your reality.
And here it is, broken down to its absolute simplest form. Your belief creates your identity, and your identity drives your action. It's so simple, but so profound. Your actions are never just random things that happen. Nope. They are always the final output of the deepest beliefs you hold about who you are. The action is just the proof.
Okay, so if this circuit is running the show, you've got to wonder, where did my current circuit even come from? Let's take a look at how our default setting gets wired up in the first place, usually without us even noticing. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Your brain is basically a consistency machine. Once it accepts a belief about who you are, it works 24/7 to make that belief a reality. You don't just act like that person, you literally become them. You embody that belief.
And here's the kicker, the really important part. Most of us never consciously chose these settings. They got programmed into us by something a teacher said in 3rd grade, or by some failure we had years ago, or maybe just by the old stories we've told ourselves over and over until they just feel like facts. And honestly, that's good news, because if you didn't choose it, you can re-choose.
All right, so this is where it gets really good. This is the practical part. If our old settings were just programmed into us, how do we finally take the controls and install a brand new operating system? Let's walk through exactly how to flip the switch on your own identity circuit. It's actually a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, you have to consciously choose your new identity. And be specific. Don't just say, I want to be more confident. No, say, I am a compelling public speaker. Second, you have to define the core beliefs that go with that identity. What does a compelling speaker believe? My ideas are valuable. I really connect with my audience. And third, and this is the magic key, you act as if you already are that person. That action is what reinforces the new circuit and makes it.
So, what does this look like out in the wild? In real life. When you actually do these steps, how does it grow from just a neat idea into a powerful, tangible reality? Well, this is where the real transformation kicks in.
So let's jump back to our piano teacher for a second. Over on the left, you've got the piano instructor circuit. The belief, I teach notes. The identity that flows from that, technical teacher. And the action, well, it's drilling scales over and over. It works, it's functional. But now, look at the right, the musical mentor. The belief gets a tiny upgrade to I inspire artists. The identity morphs into creative guide. And the action, it totally transforms. Now you're exploring musicality, emotion, passion. It's the same job, but a completely different impact, all because of one little shift in belief.
And that right there is the whole point. You don't need some huge, life-altering event to get massive change. The most powerful work you can do is all internal. When you focus on tweaking that one tiny belief, the power source of your circuit, you create this incredible ripple effect that completely changes your actions and, in the end, your results.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. We've seen that identity isn't really who you are. It's what you believe you are. And that belief, that's a choice. It's a choice you get to make every single day. So if you walk away with anything, let it be this.
Your identity is not some permanent statue. It's not your destiny. It's just the story that you're currently telling yourself.
And just like any circuit, you can look at it, you can understand how it works, and you can absolutely rewire it to get a completely different result. You're the engineer here.
So really, there's only one question left for you to answer, the one that actually matters. As you look at the circuits that are running your own life, your career, your relationships, your health, you have to ask yourself, what switch will you flip?